What's up, Mortgage Coach, Trust Engine, Sales Boomerang community? We just finished the Taking Action Mastermind put on by Todd Bookspan and Win by Noon. We're here in Las Vegas at the Cosmopolitan. Yesterday was the Modern Mortgage and Modern Real Estate Summit. So Josh has some big takeaways. So Josh, first of all, what'd you think of the event yesterday, bro?
It was incredible. The amount of abundance that was shared from the stage was inspirational. To have realtors and mortgage professionals come together and be able to share what they're going through was incredibly helpful to learn from what the realtor community is doing at the same time. And I left with just a ton of nuggets. So it was a killer event. The connection at that event that occurred over a period of 24 hours is like nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah, no, I've had multiple people who have been to a lot of events over decades say it was literally the best experience they had ever had, best event. And I was thinking about why was it so magical? And it was a combination of who was in the room. Like, this was limited to 60 people. There was speakers that were invited that were among the best leaders. They're the most successful. They've invested in themselves the most. And then people that invest a lot of money to be there and to have that kind of money to invest to be there, you're motivated. Everybody is all in on taking themselves to the next level. So super cool. What I wanted to do is I wanted to have a quick conversation here in the Mortgage Coach Trust Engine community. And I want to hear what Josh's number one takeaway is. And then I'm going to share a couple of mine, and we're going to talk for about 10-ish minutes because Josh's wife just landed and he's going to go spend some family time. So what's your number one takeaway?
Well, I'm going to try to weave these things in together. But the first thing that occurred to me was that everybody in the mortgage industry is suffering and some people feel like they're the only ones having a hard time. They're the only ones looking at a rate sheet that isn't as sharp. They're the only one getting shopped. They're the only one with their conversion down. They're the only one with their leads down. And there's a tremendous amount of suffering that's happening in the mortgage community that really we just need to understand that everybody from the CEO to the janitor is going through a challenging time. Okay, cool. Now we know that's the rules. That's the score of the game right now. Now, how do we get better, right? And a few things that came up for me, the power of community and coming together as a group so that we can kind of take the energy from one another and feed off of each other is really, really important. And I didn't realize how much I was missing that, but getting together with people and hearing their ideas and then going back and forth with those ideas is huge. So bringing this full circle to my takeaway, if we're creating mortgage branches that don't have community where we come together and share ideas and create synergy and help each other with their ideas, like the industry is harder, yes, but we're also not giving as much or doing the same things that enabled us to be so helpful for our financial partners, our referral partners, our past clients. So coming back together in my branch is going to be a very big priority for me coming out of this event.
So that's powerful. And that was, when I am on these stages and I talk about, hey, what was my biggest takeaway? There's no doubt just the power of masterminding. I mean, I know this my entire career. All the success I had as a top producing mortgage professional came because I mastermind with other people. Either there was someone, for me, it was Greg Frost, like, what? There's someone doing $50 million a year in business and we're all competitive. And it's like, the 4-minute race or the 4-minute mile. Once upon a time, that was an unbreakable record. And then once someone broke it.
Yep.
So there's just, the power of inspiring each other as humans. There's always another gear. There's always a way to think bigger, and we're better together. And the more we invest in time together, the more successful we are. So you're going to see me from the stage creating content for both the Trust Engine YouTube channel and the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel. Mastermind, do roundtables, do events, go to coffee, one-on-one mastermind. So there's no doubt that's it. But here was another thing that hit me, and you're going to laugh because he's been teasing me because his was one of the, I had to miss 2 sessions because I had to go do a webinar and I didn't get to see Josh, but I saw his slides, and my executive assistant, shout out to Paul, had taken some incredible notes. And last night after I went out, I came home early because I was like, this is important. I want to really consume what happened today. I wanted to journal on it. I wanted to read the notes that Paul did and just really unpack it. I knew at 8 o'clock this morning I was going to be doing the Friday mastermind. And I just wanted to like go through it and really digest it. And here you're gonna laugh at this. Here's what came to me. I was reading the speaker, the headline, and the takeaways. And remember, guys, when we invited Josh, it was like, hey, Josh, we want you to come and talk about your 6 rituals. You know, every single speaker is like, you get to choose what you're going to talk about. And you know that every single speaker, they picked what they wanted. So incredibly elite people, and they picked their content. They picked every chapter of what they said on stage. Like, you were not micromanaged on what you were going to stage.
Not at all.
And so I looked at it from that lens, like, wow, okay, I had these 12 amazing people. What did they choose to talk about? And I looked at it from that lens, like, this is what someone of incredible success, this is what they picked. And I was just kind of looking at it from that content. I'm like, Josh picked 6 rituals. And then I thought about sleep. I mean, once upon a time in my life, I used to, and I'm embarrassed of this, you know, but for probably most of my adult life, I'd go, oh, plenty of time for sleep when you're dead.
Right.
You know, when you die, you know, because I've always been a morning person, and people who don't get up early, I'm just like, plenty of time for sleep when you die. Like, that was, but no, sleep is the most important. Like, I'm a 7-hour guy. Like, I get 7 hours of sleep, I'm good to go. I track it with an Oura ring. I'm obsessed with it. But if I don't, I can't be my best.
Yeah.
And then my wife is always grinding on me about water, you know, like, oh, did you drink water? Did you drink water? And I'm like, finally seeing that Josh put sleep and water as some of the most important things. I was just like, if you listen to what I talked about earlier at the Modern Mastermind, I go, I don't know if I'm actually going to put this in our core training content, but we're teaching, like, here's another takeaway. All the top producers, yourself included, their superpower is their ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn.
Yes.
And when it comes, I just triggered this awesome camera. The little hand gesture threw us into a little bit of automation that I am not in the mood for right now. But here's what I was thinking. If I am rolling out MortgageCoach to a company, and everybody in the audience isn't getting the sleep they need,
Yep,
isn't drinking the water they need,
yep,
they're probably not 50% less likely to learn, unlearn, and relearn.
Yep.
So it's like, anyways, it's just a takeaway. I don't know that I'm going to build that into Trust Engine training that we roll it out with. Okay, everybody, is everybody getting 8 hours of sleep? Is everybody drinking enough water? But I do know if those fundamentals aren't in place, we're not going to be as successful as we can be.
Yeah. So my presentation was 6 daily rituals to maximize your personal freedom. And to me, what I aspire for is to reach personal freedom. And that doesn't have a direct correlation to income. It's the way I feel. It's my energy. Am I showing up in a way that I can inspire people? And I'm enjoying life. Like, I'm digging what I'm doing because I feel great. And the sleep piece was inspired by a neuroscientist by the name of Matthew Walker, who wrote an incredible book called Why We Sleep. And basically what he put in that book was 1 extra hour of sleep. So getting from 7 to 8 hours has an effect on your intelligence levels, or SAT scores, of up to a 25% improvement. 1 hour of sleep makes you 25%
So I need to push for 8
smarter.
hours. I need to push for 8.
He says that the sweet spot is 8 to 9.
Wow.
So here's what I would say. If you're interested in this, you're like, I wonder if this shit works. Try it. Like, give yourself the next 10 days and just try 8 hours for 10 days and see how you feel. But for me, what I realized was, man, yeah, I have 1 less hour in the day. So what, I have 5% less hours, but I feel 25% better. So
it's making a difference.
100%, like, my stress levels, my anxiety levels way down. And that was just one of the six rituals.
And for those of you who don't know Josh, in the early days when I first got him using MortgageCoach, because I've always prided myself, no one's going to outwork me, and I start early. And I had heard from Coach Bill Hart that you were like starting at 2:30 in the morning.
I woke up between 1:30 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. for 4 years coming out of the Great Recession.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this dude's kicking my ass. So I said, you know what? I could do that. And so I started doing it. like 3 days. And I was just like, I can't do that.
Wonked.
Just,
Yeah.
setting the alarm, getting up that early and trying to work. Like, no, I gave up. So anyways, cool. Anything else you want to say while we're online here?
I do. I want to say one more thing. The other big takeaway that I had was I believe that the advice that we have as mortgage advisors has never been more valuable than right now. People are incredibly fearful around the housing market. They think rates are going to go up. They think the housing market is going to crash. And we have this opportunity where we have insight what's going to happen into the real estate market if we're really educated as mortgage advisors. And it's the perfect time to reach out to customers and have those conversations and step into the light, if you will, on how valuable your advice is, because there is a void in the market. And I'm seeing some people step into it and walk into that place as advisor and lighting the future for clients and referral partners. And some people are just sinking into the background. So now's the time to step into the light.
So Dan Keller, one of my takeaways from his presentation was we need to be problem finders. And I want to push every loan officer, like it's a new day in mortgage. I mean, I've said this so many times on stage. I'm not going to repeat it verbatim right now, but this is not another year in mortgage. We've entered a new era in the mortgage industry. And it is an era where advice is essential to you thriving. Like we need to be able to, use our trust engine, sales boomerang alerts to identify first-time home buyers, to identify people that need debt consolidation loans. Like you need to be looking for problems because those are loans. Every time there is a problem, there is a solution. And by the way, with 63% of every mortgage in America starting with 2 or 3%, guys, that's a problem for listing agents.
For sure.
That's a problem for housing. And are you going to provide advice and education with a fee worksheet? So the North Star in this new era is becoming a mortgage advisor and going from price to advice. Any closing thoughts?
We can no longer wish it was easier. We just got to get better. That's it.
Ooh, don't wish it was easier. Wish, pray, actually take action to get better. So hopefully you got value from this. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it was fun.
Amazing event. If you weren't here, you missed out. You should be here, and we hope to see you next year.
Yeah, this event will be happening again, and it was it was a 10. I mean, it was really a 10 out of a 10. Take care, everybody.
See everybody.